We just got a pretty good hit, and that fish is taking that head. So I've got to go get him. Hold on, you guys.
Robert Bodden here with WrungNeck Decoy. What you're watching is a little bit of action of some of the birds that we shot over this concept. The snow geese, obviously, we'd be hunting those over the field, but the rest of the birds that you guys see on the videos that I shoot, they're shot over this concept. So usually I go out to the marsh and I take about 5 of them with me, and that's all I really need when I have the motion going on this concept. So what we wanted to do is give you a couple of tips on how to paint the head. So one of the video clips there, you'll see the carp where we were dropping a line off the keel system, and a carp hit the decoy and pulled the head through the body, and it was floating by itself in the water. So that's what you're looking at there. But when you go to Smith & Edwards and you pick up your decoy, you're going to look at those parts, and the head's going to be black and the body's going to be white. And so you can look at this and you can kind of see, wow, that's pretty shiny. What am I going to do with that? Well, all you do is you just take sandpaper and you rough up this surface, and when you do that, this will almost turn that white streak color as you're sanding it, kind of fading it down. Well, as soon as you hit that with your flat spray paint, you're going to come out with a pretty flat looking head. So that's basically what that looks like there. You can hear this one. This one actually got shot up in the field, and you can hear a BB rattling around in that head. But the main thing is just the comparison. You can see how you can flatten this out. And since we're working with a market gunning style decoy, it doesn't have a lot of detail, so there's not a lot of feathering grooves on this. And what that creates is when you sand down your head and you paint it, I think you pretty much get closer to a flocked feel. It's not flocked, but it's pretty flat, so it does a good job when you take that process. So that's how you prep your head. Just sand that, get all that shininess out, and then just hit this with flat spray paint, and you're going to like the way that turns out. Okay, once you get that done, then the other aspect of the concept is, how do I ballast this head so that it'll ride upright in the water? And what you do, you take your spool of 1/4 inch bullet weight that you find in the sporting goods stores, and you take a length of 24 inches, and that's how long this length is on this decoy. And what you're going to do is you're going to insert it through the keel, and when the terminal end comes through the front, just maybe an inch or so, let that pass through, and then just bend that back over the bottom of the keel. And then you're going to curl the rest of the excess length up in this fashion, and that's going to give your adjustability on the head. So once you have that set, you're going to put it in the water, and you're going to look at the float on that, and if the head's listing a little bit this way like that, you're going to just adjust your weight, and that'll move your head and straighten that out. So you guys can see how you can adjust that. If you want, the reason why most of the weight has to be towards the back is that this is a forward sloping head, so you don't have this really rigid looking decoy when this goes into the body. So that's why you got to have most of the weight to the back. But if you push that weight forward, you guys can get a feel. You're going to make that head go forward, and when you do that, he'll be more in a preening style when he comes around. If you want it more alert, you just bend it back that way. And that's a simple concept of a WrungNeck decoy. And so you're probably asking, well, why is that such a big deal? And there's some things that I'm keying into about waterfowl and approaching a rig. And if you can think of a approaching bird's capacity to spot motion is 2 to 3 times greater than our human eye. So even if I have subtle motion like that, and I've broken up the statuesque decoy flotation, I'm way ahead of the game. And I found out that if I'm in a mixed rig and I have birds approaching, they're going to pass right over the rigid decoys, and they're going to focus right in on this motion because they equate that to a feeding activity. And so they also, it calms them down. They're not as wary when they're coming in and they see motion and head movement. So that's the concept. If you want one of these and you want to try them out, just go online or head over to the Smith & Edward stores in Utah, and you'll be able to pick these up. You'll pick up a head, the body, which is white, and then a spool of your 1/4 inch bullet weight, and you're good to go. Thank you.